Nama Ishwaram Satchidanantarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam
Nama Ishwaram Satchidanantarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam
Yashoda Viyolukala Davamanam Paramishtam Atyam Tato Dhrutya Gopya Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Nijantam Karamboja Yugmena Shatanka Netram Muhurnetra Yugmam Nijantam Muhu Swasakam Patri Rekhanka Kantha Sita Griva Damodaram Bhakti Badham
Muhusvasakam Patri Rekhanka Kantha Sita Griva Damodaram Bhakti Badham
Iti Driksvalila Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Akhyapayantam Tadiyeshitagneshu bhaktirjitatvam Puna prematastam satavriti vande Tadiyeshitagneshu bhaktirjitatvam Puna prematastam satavriti vande Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va Na chanyam vraneham varishadapiha
Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va Na chanyam vraneham varishadapiha
Idam teva purnatha gopala balam Sada me manasi avirashtam kimanyay
Idam deva
purnatha gopala balam
Sada ye manasya viratam vinaye
Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilay Ritam kuntalay snigdha raktasya gopya
Idam te mukham bhoja atyanta nilay Vitam kalam negda raktasya gopya
Muhuschumbitam bimba raktadharam me Manasi avirashtam alam lakshalabhay
Muchumbitam
bimba raktadharam me Manasi avirashtam alam lakshalabhay Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdi Magdam
Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdi Magdam
Kripa Drishti Vishtati Dinam Bhatanu Grihani Shamamagyami Dyakshidishya
Kripadrishti Vrishti Adinam Padanu Vinanishya Mamadnami Itisya
कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमुचे व्ययद्वत् त्वयामुचितो भक्तिभाजो च
Veratmajo Pada Mutayadadva Alokito Bhakti Bhagavatam
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयाच नमो शीघ्रो मे स्थितमोदरेह
Tata Prema Bhakti Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Mesti Namo Narena
नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदितिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय थ विश्वस्य दाम्ने
Namaste Sudhamne Surare Vidhamne Adiyoradhaya Vishwashatamne
नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदितिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय थ विश्वस्य दाम्ने
Namaste
स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदितिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय थ विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीयप्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवय तुभ्यम्
Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Vandalilaya Devyaya Tubhya
नमो राधिकाय देवय तुभ्याय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवय तुभ्यम्
Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya
प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवय तुभ्यम् To the Supreme Controller who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar I offer my humble obeisances.
Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, who is bound with his devotee's love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspects of Narayana in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord, Damodara, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastime may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your future as Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart.
O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by looks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to the mother's Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of appearances are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind.
O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me, uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision.
O Lord Damodar, in your form as baby Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriv and Nalakuvar, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become devotees. Please bless me in this same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence.
O Lord, the entire universe is created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my humble obeisances to most beloved Radharani and to your unlimited wisdom. Shivada Damodar ki Jai.
Thank you. Krishna's mercy. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 15, The Descendants of King Priyavrata. A few texts about King Gaya, texts 7, 8, and perhaps 9. We did 7 yesterday. 8, 9, and a few verses. Text 8, they're all in prose. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear King Parikshit, those who are learned scholars in the histories of the Puranas eulogize and glorify King Gaya with the following verses. Purport. The historical references to exalted kings serve as a good example for present rulers. Those who are ruling the world at the present moment should take lessons from King Gaya, King Yudhishthira, and King Prithu and rule the citizens so that they will be happy. Presently, the governments are levying taxes without improving the citizens in any cultural, religious, social, or political way. According to the Vedas, this is not recommended. Text number 9. The great King Gaya used to perform all kinds of Vedic rituals. He was highly intelligent and expert in studying all the Vedic literatures. He maintained the religious principles and possessed all kinds of opulence. He was a leader among gentlemen and a servant of the devotees. He was a totally qualified plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, who would equal him? Who could equal him in the performance of gigantic ritualistic ceremonies? Text 10. All the chaste and honest daughters of Maharaj Daksha, such as Shraddha, Maitri, and Daya, whose blessings were always effective, bathed Maharaj Gaya with sanctified water. Indeed, they were very satisfied with Maharaj Gaya. The planet Earth personified came as a cow, and as though she saw her calf, she delivered milk profusely when she saw all the good qualities of Maharaj Gaya. In other words, Maharaj Gaya was able to derive all benefits from the earth and thus satisfy the desires of his citizens. However, he personally had no desire. Report. The earth over which Maharaj Gaya ruled is compared to a cow. The good qualities whereby he maintained and ruled the citizens are compared to the calf. A cow delivers milk in the presence of her calf. Similarly, the cow or earth fulfilled the desires of Maharaj Gaya, who was able to utilize all the resources of the earth to benefit his citizens. This was possible because he was bathed in sanctified water by the honest daughters of Daksha. Unless a king or ruler is blessed by authorities, he cannot rule the citizens very satisfactorily. Through the good qualities of the ruler, the citizens become very happy and well qualified. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're hearing about Maharaj Gaya and described that great personalities in the histories have taken special note of Maharaj Gaya's contribution to the welfare of the people. Any person who lives a life uh, that goes beyond his or her own selfish interests is noted by others. Because part of living in this world is that we are dependent on others. We cannot say that there is no person who is not dependent on other living entities. Of course, ultimately, the realization is that we are all dependent on Krishna. Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunam, Yo Vidadati Kama. But among all conscious beings, there is one conscious being, the primordial or the source. Among all uh, existing personalities, among all living beings, there is one supreme living being. And that supreme living being is conscious of everyone and everything and maintains all other living beings. This is Krishna. And the verse describes that one who understands this, he lives a life of eternality. And within this, Krishna's maintaining includes the system is our dependence on other living beings. We are dependent on the sun and the moon for heat, light, nourishment. We're dependent on the trees and plants to give us vegetation, vegetables. Uh, we're dependent on the mountains for minerals. We're dependent on the seas for jewels, other resources, nowadays oil and other things. We're dependent on the demigods for our survival, for universal management to happen. We're dependent on the forefathers for handing down values, certain principles, wisdom, etc., from one generation to another generation. We're dependent on the great sages for making sure that Vedic knowledge about God is preserved carefully. It's not easy, right? We know from our day-to-day lives to maintain what Srila Prabhupada has given us, to maintain our particular sanctity of Krishna consciousness given by our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada, to follow that on a day-to-day basis, to not deviate, it's not easy. It's not easy. Because when we are not fully alert, which is quite often the case, we tend to veer off the road. And someone has to tell us, Prabhu, this way please. Oh, okay. Like one of the things I do every morning is when they're packing Krishna lunch, there's a particular order that they go through. And it happens during breakfast time. And out of habit, the devotees also walk right through what is happening there. It causes like a little, I guess, a roadblock. They're packing on this side. Everyone also takes their prasadam on this side. It's just a daily reminder. Can you come from that side? Oh, okay. So go to the other side, take prasadam. 2 minutes later, they want to refill. They'll go back right there. Right exactly through the whole line. And it's like, Prabhu, can you come from that? Oh, yes, yes. I go back there. And the next day, right back there. This is just such a habit for us. I mean, this is not maintaining a religious principle. I'm just saying maintaining a little orderliness. But it's just because the tendency to veer is very, very much a thing. That's just one thing for an example. I'm sure if we make a list, there's quite a nice list for that. Or we're so ingrained into parallel processing. We're doing one thing and we're doing another thing as well at the same time. things like that. So it's difficult. So the great sages, they take on a whole life of austerity, no sense gratification. Uh, I will maintain purity. And for what reason? For the benefit of others. This is a very, very wonderful quality. So the great sages are very venerable for what they have done for us, what they do for us. We're dependent on animals, the sheep for wool, the cow for milk, the earthworm for tilling the land or doing different things. In fact, we don't even know all the different living entities we're dependent on. The bacteria in the stomach, the different living entities that are contributing. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, Narada Muni expresses in the first canto, 13th chapter, that apadani chatushpada, that those living entities that don't have any legs, they are food for, or the four-legged depend upon those living entities. The two-legged depend on the four-legged. Like that, one living entity depends on another living entity. Jivo, jivasya jivanam. It's a synergistic ecosystem on a universal level, that we're all dependent on each other for something. On a practical level, we're all dependent on each other for our social needs. If we all behaved as if we are in our own orbits, we don't notice any one of us in the room, we don't even say Haribol, we don't acknowledge each other, our social need is not met. Our need to express our affection and our need to receive our affection is not fulfilled. So we're dependent on each other. And the role of a king, in this case back to, the king made sure that that sense of dependence was not only acknowledged and everyone was aware of it, but that it worked very well. All the different varnas were assisting each other. The brahmanas or the intellectuals were assisting the kings were assisting, making sure that the vaishyas or the businessmen, the farmers, they were doing their thing, the shudras were engaged, they were all contributing towards one thing. They're contributing to each other's self-realization in direct or indirect ways. At the end of the day, each person would acknowledge that how wonderfully Krishna has arranged for me to feel a connection with him. If a Shudra did something for a Brahmana, he would be grateful. Oh, thank you for facilitating my service to Krishna. And when a Brahmana did a particular Vedic sacrifice, the Shudras would be very happy. Thank you for doing this for us because we're all benefiting from it. Like that. Everyone, at the end of the day, used to acknowledge and in principle should acknowledge how Krishna has arranged for us to remember him, feel his presence in our lives. Be it this person, that person, this person, that person. That's wonderful. We acknowledge the instruments, we acknowledge the instrumentalist, Krishna. And Maharaj Gaya was expert at it. So expert in making sure that everything worked in such a nice way that everyone would feel that connection with Krishna. And it's described that when leaders or kings like these, they are very Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada gives us the example of Maharaj Gaya, Maharaj Yudhishthira, and Maharaj Prithu. These three are shining examples of such wonderful management. And their managing was that they were nice devotees. That they would spend their energies, invest their energy in their service to Krishna. And therefore, it says he used to perform all kinds of Vedic rituals. He was intelligent. He was expert in studying the Vedas. He doesn't say that he was so good at solving political issues. He was a very good expert in the Vedic knowledge. He was gentleman. He was a servant of the devotees. This is how he managed nicely. Everyone felt happy to be in his kingdom. And he had help. Naturally, when the one is serving like that, the Krishna comes to help. So all the great daughters of Daksha, they used to bathe him uh, with celestial waters. This is meaning blessings. He would get blessings. So I'm going to talk a little about role of blessing. And Mother Earth is described that she became like a cow. Mother Earth became cow personified. A cow happily gives milk. As soon as she sees her calf, her lactating process gets stimulated and milk just starts to flow. Because milk is considered to be uh, the affection of a mother. What makes a mother lactate is affection. As soon as she sees the child, she lactates. Whether it's cow or mouse or dog or pig or human, doesn't matter. It's affection. And so Mother Cow, as soon as she saw Maharaj Gaya as a calf, she was happy to give. Of course, if Mother Earth doesn't give resources, there's nothing for us to do. We make so many chips, right? Silicon chips, highly fast processing chips. The Intel, AMD, etc., they make chips. At the end of the day, you can't eat those chips. You need potato chips. If Mother Earth doesn't give potatoes, how can we eat? Regardless of how well we are progressing economically or not progressing, doesn't matter. We're all dependent on Mother Earth for our food. I hope someday it doesn't come that people think that we can create food in our labs. Even for that, you need Mother Earth to give resources, right? Without the Earth, you don't have any chemicals, you don't have any water, you don't have anything. You can't even create the machines because the machines come from Earth. So, and the Earth is not a, unconscious globe of dirt moving around. There's a personality of Mother Earth who reciprocates according to how the persons are living on her. She can hold back or give in bounty, resources, according to the leader. So when Maharaj Prithu, Maharaj Yudhishthira, and Maharaj Gaya, they were ruling, Mother Earth was happily giving jewels, minerals, food grains. The yield per acre must have been fantastic. Nowadays we have to figure out how to create most yield. And if the yield is not good, then we have to genetically modify the food. Right? That's why it's modified. So that you have bigger bell peppers, bigger tomatoes. Nothing inside. Just look, everything looks big, colorful. And people tinker with food. Greater Monsanto seed or this thing or that thing. Because that's the only way to fill up the void. But if one is pious, meaning a nice devotee of Krishna, Mother Earth who doesn't hold back any resources, she gives happily. If you read first canto, chapter 16, Krishna is returning to Dwarka. It's described how Mother Earth became happy just by Krishna's presence all over. And Maharaj Yudhishthira, etc. So that's the call to action for all the leaders to serve Krishna nicely, and all necessary resources will come. They will come. So that's that for here. He says, through the good qualities of the ruler, the citizens become very happy and well qualified. because they have no shortage of resources. This is how things work. But nowadays, because resources are not available, they have to dig here, dig there, create so much in terms of consumerism. And the whole idea of consumerism is more and more and more and more, etc. I don't want to get into that thought in terms of green behaviors and all that, consumerism. But the idea is sense gratification, unrestricted sense gratification, is not only harmful for the individual, it's harmful for everyone. And therefore, the Vedic teaching is to only be frugal in what our needs are, and only take that which is necessary and not more than that. It's like an honor system, if you will. Like in offices or some stores, they have an honor system. Honor system is they buy coffee, and if you take a cup of coffee or something, or there are soda cans, you take something, then you leave a little money aside. It's an honor system. It's not like free Coke or free coffee, they take away everything. It's an honor system. You leave something so that it contributes for the next batch, so that it can continue. Similarly, within Ishopanishad, we're taught an honor system. You only take that which you need and try to keep our needs minimal. Otherwise, greed covers our sense of need. And a person would say, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need that, and will accumulate so much. So need is minimized and you take only that which is needful. And it requires not only being or following an honor system, but it requires a sense of what we say sense control. Without sense control, one will not know what is the limit of their needs. We were discussing earlier that needs will become wants, and wants will look like needs when they're not the needs. So today is also the appearance day of Sri Radhakunda. Last week it was disappearance day of Narottam Das Thakur. Didn't speak anything about it. Today is the appearance day of Radhakunda. As followers of Lord Chaitanya, for us Radhakunda is a very, very, very special, holy and sacred place. And I don't have qualification or understanding of Radhakunda, what its significance is per se, out of experience. But from what Rupa Goswami has given us in Nectar of Instruction, it's described that in the entire creation, regardless of this higher planets or those planets, the district of Mathura is considered the most sacred because Krishna personally appeared there. And within the district of Mathura, the forest of Vrindavan is considered very special because Krishna performed his pastimes. And within that area, Govardhan is considered even better because Krishna personally tended the cows and calves there. He met the gopis, he had these beautiful pastimes. He lifted Govardhan hill for 7 consecutive days, and it's coming up in a few days, next Sunday, or Monday actually. And within the Govardhan hill area, Radhakunda is considered the most sacred because Radhakunda is a lake or a pond, and the waters are considered to be the liquid form of Radharani's love for Krishna. So it's very, very special. So for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, to visit Radhakunda or to reside at Radhakunda is considered to be like the topmost perfection of their life, or to serve in the mood by which Radhakunda signifies. We all cannot move and stay in Radhakunda. It's not advisable. Please don't do it. And it's interesting that all these wonderful events happen during Kartik. Mother Yashoda binding Krishna to the mortar, that happened in this month. Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill happened in this month. Uh, Appearance of Radhakunda happened in this month, which also means that Krishna killed Arishtasura the day of that very day as well. So there is this demon, uh, the bull demon. What's it? Arishtasura. Yeah, Arishtasura. He was Kamsa. He was always afraid that the sound in the sky had said that the eighth child of Devaki will kill you. But he didn't know who that eighth child of Devaki was, because very mysteriously Krishna had orchestrated that he would be transported from Mathura to Gokula in the dead of night by Vasudeva. So he didn't know. He knew that a child existed, but he didn't know who that child was. So his only solution was kill all children. That way, we sweep. It was no sampling. It was census based. Kill everyone. Kill all the children. That way, I'm sure that if the eighth child of Devaki is somewhere here, it's also taken care of. So he would send all these demons, Putana, Aghasura, Bakasura, one after the other. And mysteriously, they were so powerful, yet they were all killed in Gokula. So he knew something's happening in Gokula. The word got to him. There's a young boy called Krishna. He said, such a formidable little young boy. That's what he's doing. So then he sent Arishtasura, another demon, in the form of a bull. The reason this demon took the form of a bull is because Krishna would take care of cows and bulls and calves. And so he mixed into the crowd, so he would not be noticed. And generally, because they were cowherdsmen, they would hesitate to kill a cow. Not only cowherdsmen, anyone in Vedic India would be very, very, very cautious to not kill a cow, to not even harm a cow. Forget about killing. Even in India, even now, even if you're in a city and you see a cow, it doesn't matter if you're wearing a suit and tie, they will touch the cow to the head. Very secret, very, very sacred. So he appeared as a bull. But Krishna knew, of course, he knows everything. So when he knew that this guy is here to attack, so Arishtasura's eyes became red like fireballs. He started snorting and charging against Krishna to fight him. And he charged at Krishna with such speed and strength. Yet little boy Krishna, it's described that he tightened the waist belt that he was wearing. That is a sign of chivalry. He clapped his shoulders, arms, clapped his thighs, and he was ready for Arishtas. As soon as he came, he held his horns and pegged him to the ground, and very quickly finished him. And all the boys cheered, Krishna, so wonderful, you've killed Arishtasura. Wow. Because every day for them there was a new sporting game that they knew something would happen, Krishna would kill a demon. So today it was Arishtasura. And then when Krishna performed this fantastic task, it was all the boys were glorifying him. It was like, very nice. What a wonderful task I have done. So at that time, Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka and her friends, they were walking by, and Krishna said, did you see what a wonderful feat I have done? He wanted acknowledgement from Radharani because that's the most charming for him. She said, don't talk to us, you're very impure. He said, what do you mean I'm impure? He said, you've killed a bull. It's the most heinous and impure thing to do. So Krishna started justifying. What do you mean? That is not a bull. That is a demon. She said, I don't care, but it was in the form of a bull. You're very unclean. Don't even come close to us. So Krishna does not like to be told not to be near Radharani. Yeah, so what can I do? Is there a way I can atone for this? She said, yes, you can atone by visiting all the holy rivers all over India, bathing in those rivers, and seeking forgiveness for killing a bull. So Krishna said, oh, I'm not going to go all over India and bathe in all these rivers. I will call the rivers here. So she said, look at you. You're so haughty. He said, no, I actually mean it. They will come. And he, with his heel, he dug into the ground and he called for all the rivers to come. And one by one, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, plus all the other rivers, tributaries, they all lined up. Yes, my dear Krishna, how wonderful. You're giving us some service to do for you. What service can we do? He said, I would like all of you to fill up this pond, this dry place, so I can take a bath and purify myself so I can be with Radharani. Oh, how wonderful. I would be very happy to do this service. All their waters started manifesting in this place. And because it was done by Krishna, the place was called Shamkund. Then Krishna, he told Radharani, even you have made a mistake. Now you should atone for that mistake. So she said, what mistake have I done? You have wrongly accused someone. I have not killed a bull. He was a demon. But you've wrongly accused me, and that's sinful. So you should atone for it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Well, create your own pond and call the holy rivers. You should take a bath in the sacred rivers. If you want, I'll give you water from my pond, kunda here. So I don't want it. It's already dirty. You've entered into it. All the sins are deposited. I don't want. I'll create my own little pond. And it's described that Srimati Radharani and her friends, they broke their bangles, glass bangles, and with the little bangles they started digging. How much can you dig, right? And Krishna started laughing. I told you, take a bath here, Shamakund. Don't worry about this. He said, no. Since you have said that I should atone for it, I will do it. It's described that there is a very loving exchange between the two of them. And all the holy rivers also deposited themselves there. Krishna was so pleased that she did so much to follow what he has asked to do, that he told her, this will be called Radhakunda. And I will bless you or give you this benediction that between Shamakund and Radhakund, people will always talk about Radhakunda, not so much about Maya. Although they're right next to each other, we only talk so much about Radhakunda because that is Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. It's considered very, very sacred. And so Prabhupada writes that those who take a bath in Radhakund, they will achieve love for Krishna because it's a liquid form of love for Krishna. So having this instruction, some disciples of Prabhupada in the early 70s, they all jumped into Radhakund. They were splashing water at each other and they were having fun because, it's Krishna Prema Ki Jai. And Prabhupada came to know that. He told them, no one should enter Radhakund. This is, you're making something so sacred almost seem like it's frivolous. So he had forbade us from doing so. Although principally one should take a bath. So it's described that to take a bath in Radhakund, one needs the spiritual master's permission to do so. So it's very sacred. Our aspiration is, if we ever get a chance to go and visit the place, pray to Kishore Kishori or Radha Krishna that we may get like an atomic fraction of that love, so we'll know what it really means. Because I'm only speaking theoretically, but we hope to also get a little of it some lifetime. So that's rather good, a very special day. Today is also called Bahulashtami, and I don't know the pastime. I can't remember Bahulashtami pastime, but a special day nevertheless in Krishna's pastimes that happen during the month of Kartik. So as we observe the month of Kartik, these are different ways in which our remembrance of Krishna can become enhanced. On Sunday night, I liked one of the points Jagadananda Prabhu was speaking. He was talking about Damodarashtakam, and he said the whole song is wonderful. If you can't remember the whole song, then just take one verse and let that one verse uh, be within our consciousness during the month or the day, so that the remembrance of Krishna becomes heightened, it becomes focused, it becomes solidified. So it's very beautiful. On one hand, we're singing the song. Today's the appearance of Radha Kunda. Mondays, Krishna's lifting the Govardhan hill. It's a beautiful pastime. It's considered that among all of Krishna's pastimes, lifting the Govardhan hill is the most exciting and very special. One reason it's very special is all other pastimes are sort of with a particular group of devotees. Tending the cows and calves are with the cowherd boys. Mother Yashoda binding Krishna is with Mother Yashoda, like, or his Rasa Leela is with the cow, with the gopis, etc. But in Govardhan Hill, when he lifted Govardhan Hill, all the residents were with Krishna for 7 consecutive days. And it's a beautiful pastime, but very special. Okay, any questions, comments, Siddharth?
More a general question related to your lecture also.
Okay.
So, in general, how do we know about festivals? Is there any way we would know that day? Is there any system? Like in some temples, they have a system of announcing after Tulasarati.
That's right.
And is there also, for example, if I want to know what's going to happen, what service I can do for Govardhan, I won't know until the day before, or sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't
That's a
happen.
good
Is there
question.
a system for it?
It's a good question. Earlier, I used to announce after Tulsi Arati. I haven't been, and so no one else has been either. But we will do something such that things like that. What's the day today? What's part of the almanac? As far as Ekadashi, generally Jitendra Prabhu or I, if I'm there, we announce today is Ekadashi. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Devotees have eaten grains on Ekadashi because, oh, I didn't realize it was Ekadashi. So one way we've said is whenever you see Kishore in red and white dress, let that be a memory that this is Ekadashi. What else is there? But it has to be repeated. It's like, morning time. Can you please go from that side? Did you notice today's red and white? Oh, they are red and white? Okay. Must be Ekadashi. One day I'll trick the devotees. Put on Kishore red and white and see if everyone fasts that way. Yeah, but we will do something. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hey, much.